Hello again. So originally I had thought of doing this live stream as the mapping of the data that I collected the last episode of the Arby's locations, but instead I think I'd rather set up a honeypot. I was just I was looking at SSH logs on one of my servers, and I saw how much activity was going on. Um, I thought it would be an interesting activity to set up just a popular honeypot and go through it, and then maybe be able to see and graph the different locations that the IPs that are attacking are located. Um, Not sure how much information it's going to really accurately give us, but hopefully we might be able to see some interesting uh, different types of attacks that someone might use against an SSH server, and why it is important to change the default password. So, in that case, we're going to be looking at Cowrie SSH Telnet Honeypot. Here's the GitHub for it. Go to their website. Anyways, so what I've done so far just to get this set up is I've created a VPS on Digitalocean. You can use any type of virtual server. You could even put it on your own network, but I don't want to open any ports up on my network. I don't really feel the need to right now. So instead I'm going to do it totally isolated from me on a VPS. So we have that VPS right here, and we can start going through, I guess, the installation notes and see what we might need. I'm sure they have a wiki or something. If not, I also found an instructional on nullbyte. Yeah, they also say this is a pretty low resource type of software, which makes sense. So right now I have the VPS I have deployed it's the smallest instance you can have on DigitalOcean. I think if I really wanted to keep it up running a whole month, it would cost me $5. I'm only going to be turning it on for this this stream, and then I'll probably destroy it. Or maybe another cool thing you can do with DigitalOcean is you can create a snapshot. So instead of having that running all the time, you can just save a snapshot of it, and I believe there's still a monthly fee, but it's much lower. So that's normally what I do, and then I just turn it on when I want it. Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna follow this how-to and see how far we get. So we're gonna update this this droplet and upgrade the resources on it. Oh, I wonder what I did wrong. I gotta figure out how to disable that terminal sound. We'll see. I don't know. That might not have been good. Alright, there we go. So now, looks like we're just installing some dependencies. I don't even know if we're going to need to write many notes on this. We'll see when we get there. But, for now... Okay, so now we're redirecting the SSH, so when we want on the machine we can actually get on, and then we'll set port 22, I assume, up for the for hackers or for attackers to scan as if it were the actual port, but it would be a dummy port that Cowrie hosts on its server. So. Alright, so now the SSH should be port, oh crap, what did I put it as? 9022. So, 9022. So now if we exit out, and then I guess we can connect again. So this is the IP of that Cowrie box. That's the host name. We're logging in as the root user who's going to administrate the server. We'll have I guess probably another user for Cowrie that separates everything. So we have like strict permissions with that user. Now I have this droplet connected with my SSH key, so you can't even log in with a password. Well, it might be Digitalocean's generated password, but it's either that or you can't log in with a password right now. I'll probably change that in the SSHD config as well to restrict it to no password at all. That way only I can access it. But yeah, so 9022. There. Okay, so just to kind of recap what I just did. Oh, bummer. Wait, oh, that's why. So, if we exit out of the shell again and show that command, so we're SSHing in as root at the IP, given the argument of port, so that's what P stands for, 9022, and then my ID, which is this. I think I could probably, let me see. Oh, dummy. Yeah, okay, so that's, because it's in the default location, I don't even need that, but that's another one for you to know of. So maybe you have multiple keys, you can use a specific one that you have, depending, so like maybe with a business, they might ask you to have your own key, separate from your desktop. I don't know. So we're in, it's updated, we have some of the libraries installed, we redirected our SSH traffic, well, yeah, we did. We redirected our SSH traffic. Now, yeah, so like I thought, we're going to add a disabled, we're going to add a user with a disabled password. Yeah, so I'm going to leave all that blank. We don't need it. Alright, Cowrie is in, so now we're going to log in as Cowrie. That's saying, change the user. So we're in. Cowrie at cowriebox.com, or yeah, cowriebox. You don't even need a DNS for this. Like you can get one. There's like free ones you can get, like the .tk domains, but you don't really need it for at least this. Next we can clone this out. All right, so now we're going to get the software from Cowrie as a repository. So there we go. Okay, and now we're going to create, so it's a Python virtual environment, so it separates it again from the systems environment. So when we install packages or something, it's only installed in that specific area. And hopefully that works. It did, and we can go now to running the binary in the Cowrie environment folder activate. So I guess maybe it's just like a templating thing for creating Cowrie's virtual env. Yeah, okay, so yeah, now we have the Cowrie environment, virtual environment from Python. We're logged in as Cowrie at cowriebox in the Cowrie folder. You ever say a word so many times that it starts sounding just funny, like it doesn't even mean anything? Alright, then we're gonna upgrade pip. Makes sense to me. And now we're going to install upgrades from request. Maybe it's just finding the newest versions in that requirements.txt. We're downloading things from a resource file called requirements.txt. A library called piprex is what makes those that form of resource. It's really useful. Install collecting packages. Alright, works for me. Alright, so we're copying the config now to the actual config. So there's like a templated one, and it's saying copy that to oh my. This is interesting. So this is our first issue. I don't think I have that. I think that's something I can do. Huh. Okay. Well, we have to go back to here and see what they say. There's got to be a wiki for this. I wonder if I'm missing something. Let's Google it. Oh, dummy. There it is. Alright, so it's in the etc folder. So, cp. No, etc. I'm thinking I might need to put it in the same folder. I have it in the home folder. We'll see, I guess, when we start, but I'm going to actually move that config to the to the etc folder. We'll see. Yeah, it's weird. It's just showing that it's not even in that folder, but it's definitely where we are. So we can edit this. Okay, so it's saying to change the host name because some honeypots or some attackers look for the host name and see if it's something like a default honeypot configuration, which makes sense. You know, different ways to detect you know, a botnet from being in a honeypot versus being on a valid attackable computer. So alright, well, that's not useful to us anymore. So, host name. Our host name is going to be need more cowbell. Box. Yeah, creative. Log path. We'll see if we need to change any of that. I don't think we do. listen port should be set to 22 instead of 2222. Alright, so that's easy enough. Let's see what deprecated. I'm starting to believe that this is an old tutorial. Pardon. Alright, so... Oh, but theirs says deprecated too. Let's just go for it. It might be fine. Alright, then we're going to redirect our IP table. So, IP tables are kind of magic to me. I don't really fully understand them. But I think that this is redirecting our TCP traffic on port 22 to port 2222. I think. Yeah, so... Ah, crap. Okay, it's because we need to get out of this user, so root, I don't know. Or we can just not by SSHing in again. Yay! Alright, so luckily I'm using tmux, so I can do multiple windows and switch in between them. So we'll just connect again and do that stupid command. Alright, so now it's rerouted, and now we'll run Cowrie by going to bin Cowrie start, and we can do that back in Control 2. Alright, so we're back in Cowrie, so we'll do bin Cowrie start, and oh no, what happened? Oh, no, we're good. Alright, Honeypot is now running. So now we can kind of see some of the stuff we can do with this Honeypot. I'm going to leave it up for a few hours and see what comes up. But yeah, that's pretty much what we had to do. Yeah, I guess let's check our ports just to make sure that's all set up. You know what? Alright, so first we're going to nmap our server from the desktop to show that, you know, these ports are open, and we'll try to emulate an attack on this port 22. I think it'll let us in. So we'll pretend to use like default credentials and see what happens when we do that. So SSH into root at, well, let's nmap it first. So just to show that yeah, it's working. We'll so Control A jumps you back to the beginning of the line in the terminal, but tmux, I used a preset or someone else's configuration files, and they bound Control A to something else. It's a pain in the butt. So I gotta fix that at some point so I can stop pressing the left button so often. My sausage fingers. Nice. Alright, so you can kind of see what's going on. Those services are just kind of default things that are running on those. We're not actually running Ethernet IP or para-agent, it's just that those are the ones we chose. So that para-agent, the 9022 is actually our SSH. So if we SSH into that, yeah, we should still be able to get in. So this is us SSHing into port 9022, and it lets us in as root. However, if we do that, well, let's just, we'll do anything. So this should even let us authenticate. It might ask us for a password. Oh my. Alright. Hold on. My SSH is yelling at me, telling me it's not doing what it's supposed to do. I think I'll just, yeah, I think I could just remove that. It's not important. I hope it doesn't do it again. That would suck. Yes. Alright, so yeah, it did it. This is actually Cowrie working. So this is Cowrie's SSH server asking us, it's accepting our RSA key. Well, no, sorry. That's my desktop asking if we'll accept its RSA fingerprint. I'm saying yes. So it's acting like an SSH server. And it's asking me for my password. So we're doing admin as the user. So that's not even like a real user. So we'll try admin password. I don't know. Alright, so it didn't let us in. Something changed. I'm not sure what happened with that. So let's try root and then password. Huh. Interesting. Alright, so now it used our configuration, and you can see it says need more cowbell box. So that's what we had named it in that cowrie.config. We're in as the root user. So now I think what it's going to do is probably log all of the information that we're using in it. So if I do this to kind of show, okay, well, what's in here, and what can we do? So if I were an attacker, let's say, and we're now cding into the .ssh cat known hosts. Oh, it's a directory. Interesting. Hello, Games Rain. Alright. Alright, so yeah, we're just kind of messing around in here. And then we'll exit out. And now let's log back in as our actual account. Or, you know what? Am I even... Yeah, alright, so I jump back to the tmux window with my user, Cowrie, in the virtual environment already. And now we're going to see what the log has about what we just did. And hopefully, if it has anything like IP address, maybe we can passively, we can make a script that passively grabs that information from the play log and sees what, it'll just scrape all the IPs out of that and maybe ping them or try to geolocate them to see what the heck is going on. My guess is it's going to be mostly botnets, but it will be interesting to see what percentage come from where. I did this manually before in an Apache log, and I found that a lot of them were coming from China, Russia, and India. It seemed like those were the three big ones, and then the U.S. had some. I think like Italy. And you can't account for all of those being botnets, but for the most likely, they're botnets. So let's see what's going on. So after logging into the honeypot and running commands, we can review that we did by checking the logs. The logs are recorded and can be played in real time using the integrated log replay tool. So I think we're going to see, that's going to be actually kind of cool. So bin play log. And then I guess we'll have to where's that gonna be at? It should be in log. Oh no. What's going on? Alright, so one of these types of SSH honeypots that I've seen before was called Kippo, and to my knowledge, I think that this Cowrie is actually based off Kippo. Maybe it's a fork of it, I'm not sure. Alright, back to Cowrie's installation configurations. This is also showing you can also emulate different services like Telnet, which is interesting. Maybe that could be something I do in a different project. But generate DSA, I don't need it. We're gonna start it, and we did that. We redirected the port. I think it's in var. See? Log, yeah. Alright, cool. So, this is actually where it is. Pain in the butt that we couldn't see that before. But, yeah, so this is kind of just showing that it's ready to accept SSH connections. Let's reload this. It's kind of messy. So this is the log. It's not using that tool though that it says can play in real time. We'll do that next. But new connection. Hadoop. Alright, so this isn't even me. Someone's trying to authenticate with a login attempt that doesn't even, yeah. So Hadoop password, Hadoop 1. So yeah, this is definitely, it's an attacker, and it's an attacker using default credentials. So we're gonna see what the heck's going on with there. I guess Hadoop probably sets that as its user for an SSH configuration or something, and a lot of people don't change that. That would be my guess. But we'll be able to see that. So you know what? We'll do it in here. So a cool thing that you can do is if you call this website IP Alright, so that's the URL. If you call that and then put the IP in there, you can see some information about it. And they also have a website, so I think, yeah, I think if you went there, it would tell you some more. So this is from Colombia. So there you go. So you kind of would get an idea of what you could do with this project. So if we go back here and we get back to our log, you see some different types of information you might be able to pull out. So yeah, it looks like this is where you might be able to find this would be where you'd be able to find the IP address. You might be able to try to grab this whole whole tag from a line or something, and then have this this would be constantly updating, and you'd be able to see it like that. Huh. Interesting. Alright, so... This is interesting. So, I guess... we're not gonna be... Stupid. I'm in this. I can't do that. Alright, Dang it, it's not pretty. Let's see if I remember. So Python 3m json.tool, something like that. Okay, well, here's where you can also get it. So it's saying that there was a source port, so it's calling this IP a Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on right now. Because I'm not sure why it's able to call from different ports like that. Maybe it's monitoring any traffic coming to it, but I'm not totally sure. Cowrie login failed, admin password. That might have messed things up with the recording. I didn't think about that. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good.